todos, bienvenidos una vez más a otro episodio de Somos Triunfadores. Welcome back to another episode of Somos Triunfadores. I'm here with my good friend, Sheriff Russ Gibson from Osceola County. Welcome to our show.
Margie, thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here today.
Awesome. So let me tell you what I've been doing and what I've been up to.
Okay.
So given the different crises that we've been facing as a community, we wanted to find a way to inspire our business leaders so that, whether they lost their jobs or they're struggling to keep their businesses afloat, we wanted to bring in some leaders that can inspire them through these, changes that
Yes.
we're all challenging times that we're all facing. So we're going on tour throughout Central Florida, and we're visiting different businesses and having these great conversations
Sure.
with some of our leaders so that they can share bits and pieces on how is it that we can stay positive during these very, very trying times.
Absolutely.
So I'm not a reporter or a journalist.
Okay.
You know me well. I'm a business leader and I'm a concerned citizen.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
So I've been very worried with everything that's been happening nowadays, and you've seen a lot of folks really struggling to stay in a very positive mindset with everything that's happening.
Yes.
So that's why I'm so happy that you decided to share your time with me and have this conversation. I wanted to get to, I know you very well, but
Sure.
I wanted our community to get to know more of your personal side.
Okay.
So we know you as Sheriff Gibson,
Yes.
but what was that trajectory, that journey that led you to be the sheriff? What are those highlights throughout your life that people can relate to?
Well, I can tell you that the journey is what God puts before us. Everything that happened in my life from childhood to today is everything that needed to take place in order for me to be the sheriff of Osceola County. I'm one of 6 children, and we grew up.
You see, I didn't know that.
Absolutely, and it's like the Brady Bunch: 3 boys, 3 girls, and we grew up very poor. I was born and raised in Youngstown, Ohio. We were a family who grew up on welfare. So the first 10 or 11 days of the month, you are doing very well with food and things that you need. The last 19 to 20 days of the month is very much slim pickings. One of 6, you got the food when you could. We relied on school lunches in order to supplement our diet. And if you missed school for a day, you literally sat home and dreamt about what the kids were having for lunch that day. There wasn't always money to buy school clothes. Churches and other organizations dropped off trash bags of clothing on our doorstep for us to rummage through to find things to wear. This isn't a sad story. This is what made me who I am today. And to appreciate the real gift that's been given to me as being a sheriff. And I went through all these trials and tribulations as a young boy, a young man, only to realize that everything happens for a purpose. And so when I'm out on West 192 and I'm in the hotels and motels and I hear people say that those poor kids, they don't have a chance, I truly reflect on my own self.
Yeah.
Knowing where I was growing up and where I am today, and I tell them absolutely they have a chance.
More of that, please.
Absolutely. They just need somebody to buy in to them, to tell them that they have value and meaning, and they can be somebody, and that they can help change this world that we live in. There's hope for anyone out there. We just need the people to give that to them. And I'm so proud of the pastor that helped raise me and the couple of teachers that saw something in me to give me that feeling that I was a special person and I was going to make a difference someday. And not being a prisoner in an institution or a penitentiary, but being a part of the solution instead of a problem. And I thank God for this opportunity.
Today, law enforcement is facing a tremendous crisis. How is it that you can not just lead right now, but inspire your staff and our community, because I see where you come from, and it doesn't seem very different from the stories I heard growing up. Thank God I grew up in a different environment where, I went to private school and I learned 2 languages and I had everything growing up, but that's not very different from the story I heard from my parents.
Yeah.
So how is it that story helps you relate to what people are facing now, and how does it hurt you to see how people are mad at law enforcement today?
It really does hurt. And these are unprecedented times, first and foremost. We had our the shooting at Parkland in Broward County to start things off for my first term, and then we have the COVID-19 comes into place, social distancing, terms that we've never used before.
Social distancing.
We're good.
I'm a social butterfly, so it's like especially hard for me.
Well, and then we have an incident in the midst of all of this that takes place in Minneapolis, Minnesota, where George Floyd is killed. Honestly, he's murdered.
It's brutal.
He's murdered by, people that our society are led to believe that they can trust. That these people are there to help you, not to hurt you. Yeah. One of the things that I did when this initially took place, I sent an email out to the deputies and to our civilian staff, and I let them know that they took an oath. And I reminded them in this oath, they took an oath to serve and protect the people. And I said it again, to serve and protect the people. Mm-hmm. This is what we signed up for. We didn't sign up to kill the people. Mm-hmm. That's not why we're here. Mm-hmm. And so just going fast forward until a couple of days ago, we had a march in Kissimmee. Yeah. A protest, if they want to call it that, a demonstration. Mm-hmm. And the city of Kissimmee police chief contacted the chief of St. Cloud and myself and told us about this march. And I said, look, I'm in. Mm-hmm. I want to be in this march. We showed up for this march. We were in uniform and we marched with the people. Mm-hmm. People that we represent, people that we take care of, that we took an oath to protect and serve. I understand their frustrations. I saw it for myself and I was frustrated.
Mm-hmm. And you are a white police
absolutely.
officer.
And I was angry.
You were just as angry.
Every life is precious. Mm-hmm. It has value, meaning. Mm-hmm. When I say to people that we're all God's children, we are all God's children. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Love each other like you want to love yourself. Mm-hmm. Wow, what a concept. Yeah. What an amazing journey we're on right now. I feel people hurting. They're angry, and for good reason. Mm-hmm. I'm angry too. Mm-hmm. What happened in Minneapolis, Minnesota does not reflect probably 99.9% of the law enforcement officers, the great men and women who took that oath to protect and serve. They still hold that near and dear to their heart. They want to make positive differences. They want to be there to help you during your time of need, just like I do. That's why I marched in that event, to show that I was one with the people. We have solidarity. There's unity in our community. I'm proud of that.
You see a hope in us making strides as a community so that law enforcement doesn't have that kind of divide. There's not such a big gap between law enforcement and the community.
Absolutely. There is that hope. And because of what we're doing in Osceola County, we have immersed ourselves into the community. Mm-hmm. Not just today, not just during this tragic incident that happened in Minneapolis, Minnesota, but the moment that we took over that office 3.5 years ago, we knew that we had to be more involved in our community to establish a trust and relationship, a dialogue, a true dialogue, mm-hmm. that we could see dividends being paid for like we have seen the first 3.5 years.
3.5 years ago, Osceola County was very different.
Yes.
What have you seen in terms of the growth in the Osceola County community?
And 3.5 years ago until today, the population in Osceola County has grown in unincorporated areas of Osceola County more than 17%.
Wow.
That is tremendous in 3.5 years to have a 17% growth in your population. We're ranked in the top 5 or 6 in the country as far as growth in the United States. This county, Osceola County, which I call home. My children were born in Osceola County, and we've raised them there. So it's an amazing journey, but even with the population growing 17% in the first 3.5 years, because of the great work that the men and women of the Osceola Sheriff's Office have done in partnerships with local law enforcement such as Kissimmee Police Department, St. Cloud Police Department, and our surrounding counties, relationships that we have with them, we've seen our crime rate as a whole drop 19.63% in the first 3.5 years of our tenure there. And that is largely in part of how we connect now with our community. We're being now received as a community partner and not just a community punisher. And I think that's huge.
For me, that's very meaningful because when I first started seeing the migration, which is unheard migration from Puerto Rico due to Hurricane Maria.
Yes.
I took on a project working with Career Source and Valencia Community College, and I was offering community integration seminars. I'm sure you remember, because you were very supportive of me when I was doing that. And I remember I was very, very concerned as to how is it that my brothers and sisters from Puerto Rico relocating here were going to be treated.
Sure.
Most of them didn't speak a word of English.
Absolutely.
They were starting all over, reinventing themselves, and they were coming here because they were looking for a safe place to raise their families.
Absolutely.
Is that place Osceola County?
I'll tell you what, that place is Osceola County, and we have opened up our arms and welcomed those folks from that hurricane who found themselves displaced, living in hotel rooms with their families. And it was brought to me to start a tradition that they have in Puerto Rico was the parandas. And we brought that to the people in the hotels. We championed the paranda with some churches. They provided some musicians. They provided some singers. We provided some hot chocolate and some food and some gifts for the children. And we hit these different hotels and motels that these folks displaced from the storm found themselves. And we were received with open arms. People in Osceola County have never seen such a thing. But I don't look at these folks as being Puerto Rican. You know, you're not my Spanish friend.
You're
Margie.
not my white friend.
No.
You're just the one that makes really good penne.
And I love to cook barbecue. You're not my Spanish friend.
He makes the best barbecue ribs ever. And there's a term that we share. It's called meat sweats. But only if you try his pernil or the barbecue ribs.
You're just my friend.
Yes.
You know, and I don't have black friends. I just have friends.
Yeah.
You know, the pigmentation.
I do have friends that make good barbecue, though. I just single them out like that.
Oh, that's okay. And to be a pit master is another gift that the good Lord has given me, and I'd like to share that with people. So that's a wonderful thing. But you know, ours is to serve the people.
Yeah.
And let them know that they find themselves displaced from the storm. Some of those folks were going to go back to Puerto Rico and did, but a lot of those folks ended up staying here in Osceola County and moving on with their lives, and they'll always visit their homeland.
Yes, that's me.
They'll go back to the island. That's their first love. You know, and you know, being bilingual is a plus, not a distraction. You know, I don't get offended when people speak Spanish and I don't understand everything that they're saying. I'm getting better. I'm picking up on different words here and there, so I know if they're talking about me or not. But again, I don't really care. We're all children of God.
Awesome.
And I'm telling you, that makes us all the same.
Yeah. So we've been from crisis to crisis
Yes.
to yet more crisis. How do we keep, our community hopeful about the future to come? And how is it that you've managed, our community through crisis?
I think the biggest thing is to keep
You
telling...
working on any initiatives?
Yes, we want to bring in a citizens advisory board to their sheriff's office to have a better, even a stronger connection with the community. And there's 5 different districts in Osceola County, and my goal is to bring in 2 to 3 folks from each district into a citizens advisory board that can really be a part of the planning and development of the Osceola Sheriff's Office, because the office belongs to the people. You know, I'm Russ Gibson, the sheriff, and they call it the Sheriff's Office, but really, it's the people's office. I only work for the people. I don't work for anybody else.
Being a public servant, it's hard work, and then
It's nonstop work.
it's nonstop work.
Yes.
Why do you want to do that?
It is what I was put on this
People
earth to
get
do.
criticized,
Yeah.
and you know why? Why do you want to do that?
There are people out there that look to find fault with everything that we do,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's just a small group.
Okay.
The bigger group looks at the things that we do and they just love it.
Mm-hmm.
They've never seen anything like what we do with the community.
So we were talking about growth.
Yes,
I love the word growth.
it's a good thing.
Yes. And it brings in new opportunities for businesses to flourish as
Yes.
well.
Yes.
Do you have any recommendations for business leaders? Because they're influencers in their community, and now with all the tension and people feeling so much uncertainty, our business leaders, they need to be in a very positive mindset. So do you have
Absolutely.
any advice for them?
I can tell you that,
How they can support law enforcement?
well, first and foremost, we have a tremendous partnership with our businesses that are already established. And for folks thinking about coming to Osceola County to begin a new business, or maybe even to expand a business that's already out there and they want to bring it to Osceola County, they should understand that their law enforcement officers, their sheriff's office has a tremendous partnership with them. Without them feeling safe and secure, without them having great schools to send their children to for educations, those new businesses may even look elsewhere. You know, we have tremendous weather here almost year-round in Florida. People want to come here from all over the country. They want to come here from all over the world. This is the happiest place on earth, they say. And they come here without a thought of safety and security because of what's happening with law enforcement behind the scenes. You know, in Central Florida, we're hosting basically 3 Super Bowls a day, every single day, when we are in full operation as far as our parks, our hotels. People are coming here in droves.
Wow, yeah, I've never thought about that way. But
Absolutely, and so we train and we train and we train in law enforcement to handle situations and to keep things under control.
And when people come on vacation, perhaps they behave differently than they would back home.
Absolutely, because they're 1,100 miles away if they're from Youngstown, Ohio. And so they can really cut loose here.
Yeah.
How do
you handle that?
Well, and we understand that. And we love our tourism industry. We love our tourists. We want them to come, have a magnificent time. Safety, we don't even want them to enter into their minds. That they can come here, have their great time, spend a lot of money.
Yes.
And then come back and recommend friends. Absolutely. Eat at our restaurants and stay at our hotels.
Yes.
And, we love that. And that's a partnership with our extended community all across the United States. They all have a home here in Osceola County because of a partnership with law enforcement. We want to protect our businesses. We want to help them grow. We'll come into their businesses free of charge to give them a security assessment on how they can have that safety and security or feel safer and more secure in their buildings, in their businesses. And so they can thrive and flourish without even something going on.
So if I'm a business and I'm looking to relocate to Central Florida,
Yes.
and I'm looking into Osceola County, number one, I can see that the crime rate has gone down.
Yes, absolutely.
Population has gone up, which means more people to buy my products or services.
Sure.
And then also the sheriff's office would go and do an assessment to see. Oh,
Yes, ma'am, absolutely. And we, again, it's free of charge. It is your sheriff's office. We want you to thrive in your business. We want you to be safe. We want you to be secure. And if we can offer assistance by giving simple tips, giving you some information that's on hard copies that you could follow and go through to make yourself safer and secure.
Is there a number where they can call to get these assessments?
100%. It's
And they're free of charge.
free of charge.
Okay.
And it's 407-348-1190. That is the number to our community services. And we would set that up for you in a heartbeat and be happy to do so.
Very cool.
So it's an amazing partnership that we have, which assures that these businesses can enjoy great prosperity moving into the future.
You know what? I recently wrote the Central Florida Business Resource Guide in Spanish we're going to be adding that because we update it constantly. So we're going to be adding that to our business resource guide. I'm sure a lot of folks can benefit from that.
Absolutely, and our agency is growing in the sense that we're starting to really become a mirrored image of the people that we serve. And having said that, if you speak Spanish, don't hesitate to call.
Okay.
You know, we have Spanish Citizens Academies for folks that don't speak English. We also want them to enjoy what their sheriff's office and know what their sheriff's office can do and bring to their communities.
Awesome.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
to wrap this up, again, yeah, we're all going through the crisis together, but how is it that we can maintain that positive forecast for the county? What is it that you have in store? What is it that you recommend? What is it that you suggest we do as business leaders so that we can stay on track?
Well, one of the things to understand is that we are all in this together. And there is no us, there is no you. There's only all of us working together for a better tomorrow. Everyone deserves a great quality of life. Our business owners understand that. Our residents understand that. Your sheriff's office understands that. So your businesses and your folks that live in the different communities, the quality of life really depends on all of you to be great neighbors with one another. We want to be a great tool for our businesses and for our residents to use to assure all of us a great quality of life. And so we are partners in this. And in this, we will get through this together. That much I can promise you. We haven't run away. We haven't put our heads in the sand hoping this will go away. Now we're in hurricane season, so I think this is like Jumanji level 6 right now. But we're going to get through this together.
Yes.
You know, and all the hurdles that's been thrown our way, all the challenges that's been put before us, we didn't do it because of me. We did it because of a great team.
That's awesome.
And working together, we see ourselves through these challenges and turmoils. And we're on our way to a better tomorrow by taking care of the issues and problems today.
Well, thank you so much for all you do. And thank you for being so generous with your time today. And I'm hoping that people can see this and see how is it that, they can relate
Sure.
to your leadership style, and perhaps they can apply it to their own businesses.
Absolutely.
And my take home is we're in it together. We help each other out. The more collaborative efforts,
Yes.
the better for everybody.
Absolutely. 100%. Thank you for having me. It's been an honor.
Sheriff.
Yes,
Thank
ma'am.
you so much. So thank you so much for joining us today. Just stay positive, and like the sheriff said, remember, we're in it together, which has been the mission of Somos Triunfadores. By the way, you said it in English.
Yes.
You just said it in English.
Absolutely.
So just please join us for our next interview. We will continue to inspire our leaders in our community as we rise above this COVID crisis and whatever crisis we face. Remember, your mindset is going to dictate whether you're going to be successful or not. Remember, we're going to continue to update La Guía Empresarial. So now we're going to have more information about the services that the Sheriff's Office provides free of charge for our business community. So follow us on somostriunfadores.info, our social media channels, our webpage, and please download the free guide.